Good day guys, Sickled trader here. So here goes the weekly projection video that we do on EURUSD, GU and USDCAD. So the long-term draw on liquidity have been taken right here. The long-term draw on liquidity have been taken right here on EU. Watch the last video, I talked about this low being the long-term liquidity. And here, what are we expecting going forward? So right here now we are bearish. And this low is a target to be taken. This low is a target to be taken. I have this sell side right here. This low that need to be taken. And we have this volume imbalance. This volume imbalance. So due to the war, the market will always, there is high chances of the market always opening the week with a gap, because things usually used to happen in the weekend. So I'm expecting a sell down to this low sitting, a sell down sitting on to this low right here, which is sitting on 1.13916, or you should get a bit of a buy into this volume imbalance, which is into that gap. And right into the gap we have this weekly order block, into this weekly order block. So this candle should support a sell downward, though we have another order block, favorable gap, the space between these two candles, but this should hold. But if in case it does not hold, here is another place to look for sell from. Then on the daily, we are still very bullish, bearish I mean to say. We are still very bearish. So I'll take this out. Then here is the weekly order block, which is the weekly change in state of delivery. If you don't know what a change in state of delivery is, there's a video coming up on Wednesday this week to anticipate that, to understand what a change in state of delivery is. Then right here we have a nice looking order block right here. Check out my video on order block on my YouTube, on this channel. So this an order block right here is a strong kind of order block, because we have this sweep into this favorable gap, and we have this order block. We have the opposite candle, we have the up candle here, we have the positive movement down, we have the favorable gap. So this order block is a strong kind of order block. So market could retrace into it, then sell down, or market does the same thing it did last week, which is opening with a gap, and then opening with a gap. Instead of playing around a bit, it just opens with a gap and goes down. So right here on 4 hours, still very bearish, the same thing. And on 2 hours, everything is still very bearish. So on the 15th, so we have everything still very bearish, and that is area, that zone is where we should be looking for a sell from, or the market just drops impulsive. You should look for a sell from this zone. So all depend on what USD and what USD does. So right here, a major low was taken. It was October's low. Okay, this was 2025 October's low was taken. So that is a break of structure. The structure was broken to the downside. Structure being broken to the downside. So a supply have been created. And when a supply has been created, you become a seller. If you don't know what supply and demand is, I have a video on it. On this YouTube channel. So let's move down to other pair, which is here we are on GBPUSD. So GBPUSD, unlike EU that have gotten to the long-term draw, GBPUSD have not gotten to the long-term draw I talked about, which is this low. And on the daily, so these are all the things I marked out last week. All the lows have been gotten to except the long-term draw. So on the weekly, we are very much bearish, which is the weekly low is a target, and this long-term draw is still a target, except if market buys and close above this. If that does not happen, this place is still a target, this low. Then on the daily, you have this nice, I'm going to take out this. You have this nice change state of delivery. Which is this. So we have this nice change state of this nice order block. So we expect markets to go back, buy to it before continuing the sell, because we have a reaction from this order block also. This is a nice order block. I'll mark it out this way. You have this reaction. I have this reaction right here. So you could get maybe a bit of movement, then buy up before selling. Or something that happened last week, whereby it opened with a gap and went down. Because the movement downward last week, I talked about it going a bit up before down, but it did not go up. The market opened with a gap on Monday. So last week I was expecting market to buy up to this other block, never happened. He opened to take gap and slap down. After slapping down, got this movement up before still going down back. So right here now on the 4 hours, I have this fair value gap. So those are the things that should still support the sell downward. Those are the things that could still support the sell downward. Or if this wants to still play dirty, because on USD card I am still expecting a sell downward on USD. I'm expecting a sell, but USD are stronger during the war. So when US oil is going up, USD becomes like strong, But the NFP data that came out last week is showing that it should be weak. So when we get there, I'll show you guys. So except this market try to play just a fast one or a tricky one, sorry about that, or a tricky one, we have this double break. We have this break of structure right here now. I have this break of structure, and I have this break of structure. So this is double break of structure right here. So all this space is looking relatively equal. Market could use it as liquidity. Could. If here gets taken out, I'll be looking for sell from here. Then if it gets taken out, then that means buys have started. But let's see what the market does. So here should support the market downward. Is on a higher time frame order block. So we're going to get a bit of a buy. Also, we're going to get a buy to this place. Except maybe US drops a look on Iran, or Iran drops a look on anybody. Then we open with a gap next week. Then we have to just follow whatever the daily candlestick is printing. But aside from that, this is what I'm expecting: a buy to this imbalance and a sell downward, or a buy to this order block and we sell from there. Whichever one happens, just position yourself on those point of interest. So on the 4 hours, it's nothing much actually. On the 4 hours, you have this other block, but they have been mitigated already by this candle movement upward. Then on the 1 hour, on 15 minutes, have this buy up and sell down. So this is still a retracement inside the higher time frame. It's slowing down inside the higher time frame order block. So new week may get a bit of a range, maybe starting the week before any movement will happen. So let's go to the next pair, which is USD card. Here we are on Euro USD card, and since last 2 weeks I've been calling here the long-term draw, and if you could remember, I said on the monthly time frame, I labeled this as an indecisive candlestick, which is this low. It's an indecisive candlestick, and the high got taken out. The high got taken out last week. We sold a bit, but this low, the high got taken out. The high of the indecisive candlestick got taken out. This low, I said, is the target. But I think on the daily time frame, there was a favorable gap sitting there, which I talked about that time. That USDCAD may buy from there. So, but this low have not been taken, which is still part of the reason why I think maybe GU most especially, we buy a bit before continuing the selling downward, because right here, as at last 2 weeks, we got this high, swept, sold a bit. Then this week, we bought from this fair value gap. Let me go to the lower time frame. But looking at the weekly charts, weekly candlestick right here, this high, last week high does not look safe anymore. Last week high does not look safe because last week low was taken. So the high will be next. The high will be next. And on the weekly, on the daily, I mean to say, on the daily, we still have it very near to that previous week high. So the daily high should be taken, that is Friday's high. It's a target that needs to be taken. Then on the 4 hours, you have this. So it's still reacting from this area that was taken. It's still reacting from it. On the 4 hours, it's looking bullish also. On the 2 hours, it's still looking bullish. Well, you could expect maybe this continuation downward is if we get a sell from here that closes below here, then we know you have changed the state of delivery. The state of delivery have changed from bullish to bearish. As market comes down to more. But just by me looking at it, we are very, very bullish. Then right here, but we know that GU is inside a higher time frame order block, even though we have the long-term draw still sitting below. But he have taken his own long-term draw, which is a monthly low. So right here, you have this up candle, you have this down candle, you have this up candle. If we get a candle closing below here, bearish candle closing below here, then that is a sign to take a sell. So that is a sign to take a sell from there. This is typical USDCAD. That is how it behaves. I talked about it loving full play last week. These are all full play. So if it closes below that down candle, we should see maybe we could get a sell. But I don't know the possibility of this because of the war. So anytime there is war, USD used to be stronger, even though fundamentally NFP outcome didn't favor the US dollar. So this is something like this. You should have something like this. They change the state of delivery, retest and sell to this that long-term draw. So we have been protecting that low, and that low have been finding it out to take out. So I talked about this fair value gap. The market may just come back to the fair value gap and buy upward. So I was expecting a reaction maybe from this other block right here, but no, just reacted a bit. Was not able to stop it. Reacted a bit, and Friday just shoot up. So that is it for USD CAD. Thanks for watching. If you watch to the end, drop a like and drop a comment on the comment section. Don't forget to turn on the notification. Sickled signing out.